Hey, I'm David.
And I'm Gui.
And today we're going to whip up a awesome recipe that Gui has come up with based on today's CSA box items. We sell these boxes every Wednesday, and the produce in them, we're going to give a little bit of a detailed description of how you can put them to use. Gui is an awesome chef from Brazil, very accomplished, has cooked in a whole host of different environments. I think this is a pretty tricky kitchen space to work in. We're outdoors, we're using open fire, but we're here at the Tiny Farm with the Tiny Farm veggies, and Gui's gonna walk us through an amazing meal today.
Yeah, so the whole idea here today is show you that cooking is easy and simple once you get a hold of some pretty basic concepts. And if we can do it in this kitchen here, you can surely do it at your home.
Absolutely.
So today we're gonna do a nice warm salad of arugula with some corn and beets. We're gonna do frittata with veggies. And we're gonna do a nice meat taco with this nice organic meat and eggs as well. David can talk a bit more about the ingredients, and yeah, we're gonna have an awesome meal here in this kitchen. So there's no excuse for you not cooking at home.
As Gui mentioned, we're working with a bunch of ingredients from our box today. The box includes a lot of items that we grow here on site, but we also add variety every week by sourcing from vegetables grown in neighboring farms in this San Diego County region. Point out the things today that are from different farms as well as our farm. The tomatoes we've grown. This is from our Tiny Farm. Carrots are actually from a couple places. We got JR Organics, which is over in Escondido, and the Chispa Farm, which is down in the South County. Our zucchini is grown here. The green peppers and the Naba cabbage are from Sage Mountain Farms out in Anza. Not Anza Borrego, but Anza up in like the San Bernardino County area. Great organic farm, larger scale, so they're able to pump out more produce in volume. Eggs are from a really good friend of ours, Michelle, over at Black Mountain Farm in Ramona. She's great. The beets are from here, and the corn is from Sage Mountain as well. Last shout out to Sage Mountain is their livestock beef. This is a new item that we're selling here at Cardiff Tiny Farm, basically trying to give them another market outlet to sell their great beef. I'm super excited to try it. It's my first time, and it just looks really good from it being defrosted and stuff. Arugula from here.
I've got some pomegranate.
Oh, pomegranates. Those are from Benjamin Farms in the San Diego County. I think that covers it.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's what you're going to use today. So very simple ingredients. As David said, you get on your weekly box, which is seasonal ingredients, which adds a lot bit on the flavor side. So if you're growing vegetables, like here on an organic farm, they're all grown in season, so it helps the environment, it helps like the flavor of the ingredient itself, because when they're grown in season, they're always better than when you force them to grow off season in a controlled environment. So we're gonna have the best out of these ingredients, and we're gonna show you how to cook some easy meals out of it. We have 3 recipes today, so I'm gonna start with the stuff that takes the longest. So I'm gonna roast some corn, I'm gonna roast the beets, I'm gonna put them in the grill there while I kind of start with the other ingredients. These tomatoes are also going to roast in the pizza oven, so I'm going to just chuck them in that skillet over there, put them in the oven, some salt and some olive oil. It's ready to start.
So Gui, I love how you mentioned that you're starting with the dish that takes the longest. So you're incorporating an element of time and planning into your cooking.
Yep.
I don't think many people take that into consideration as far as like making sure everything finishes hot at the same time.
Yeah, so I feel like that's part of why people are so scared of cooking, and it's the organization part of it, and how to get everything to kind of converge at the end into what you're expecting.
Yeah.
So always plan ahead what you're doing, what are the steps, and then you can understand, like, for example, if I'm doing like a beef roast and stuff like that, always think, like, how long is this going to take, and how much attention does this need? Like, because if you're going to put something in the oven, it's going to stay there for a few hours. You can start at that, and then you can do all the rest of the prep afterwards. Like, for example, here we're going to do a bit of like a roast tomato as well. At the same time I'm roasting the veg there on the grill, I'm going to put this in the oven. Cool. While we prep the rest of the stuff, we can get ahead with the salad, the seasoning and all that.
Smart. Gotcha.
Well, this is just taking its time in the oven. You want to tell us about a bit about that oven? I found it like that's the first time I see an oven like that.
Oh yeah?
And I know you guys made it yourself.
Totally. Yeah, it's a cob oven. So it's basically made out of sand, straw, and clay. But the creation of it is quite interesting. Of course, we started with the rock base, and shout out to our neighbors over here. They're a landscaping company, so they donated all the rock, which was quite an awesome donation to have received. So we built the foundation, but then you insulate it with glass bottles and perlite, which we had in abundance. Yeah, so it keeps that heat on the base. Then you layer these pizza bricks, and then interestingly enough, you put wet sand as the mold of the actual oven, and then you pack that clay, straw, and sand brick material around it. You let it harden for about 3 or 4 days, sometimes up to a week, and then you scoop out the sand, and it leaves that hole. And then you start padding it with more and more insulation. The idea being the more insulation it has, the longer it holds onto heat. It's a beautiful option for people who are looking for an oven that is relatively inexpensive and has a lot of character and malleability. Like, you can't really mess it up. And so far it's had a lot of success. We've had a couple run-throughs with how to get used to getting it hot. As you noted, we have this crazy DeWalt air pumping leaf blower. Yeah. That comes in handy in order to really pump up the heat in there. But once it gets going, it can get at 900, and we've run pizza parties here. We've cooked bread in it. This is the first time we're actually doing something vegetable related, so I'm excited to use it for that purpose.
Nice. And how did you find out about this oven?
Oh, this is,
idea, like where it came from.
I took a permaculture class long ago. Permaculture is this sustainable design course that tries to take all of these human systems, whether it's food systems, living systems, economic systems, energy systems, and it tries to describe them in ways in which we can work harmoniously with nature and the environment to give us the resources we need to have a life. So in this module, we talked about, well, this was a little bit about heating systems and cooking systems that were, again, all natural materials. You can find any of these materials out in nature. If you dig up clay, you find straw, sand's abundant here in this kind of Southern California setting. And it is all the elements you need to make a heating oven. So that was from that course. And I knew I wanted to make one day, and this was the perfect opportunity.
It up with wood, right?
It's perfect.
It's also
it's perfect.
From nature.
And you and I were connecting on just the joy that is had with cooking with wood.
Yeah, fire.
It's a full-on experience. You have to tend to it. You have to keep your awareness of, is it stoked? Is it not? Do I got to add more wood to it? Do I need to add some air? Is there some kindling that needs to be found? Do I need to go source some from the garden? It's in stark contrast to your traditional oven where you just set it at 350.
Set a temperature, set a time, and you forget about it, right?
So this is a bit extreme. You don't have to go to this extreme nature to cook, but it just showcases how little you need to really produce something beautiful like you're doing.
If you can do it, like as I said at the start, if you can do it in this setting where we have all these factors to consider and to keep an eye on all the time and still make a show for you, you can certainly cook at home.
100%.
Yeah, what we were saying about the basic concepts, like having that nice color in food helps a lot develop flavor, and that caramelize, which is very simple. Is like when you're cooking meat and you're just like frying something in a pan. So you can do this pan fry, you can do them in the oven. All you want to see is a bit of color. You have that nice caramelized, and seriously, anyone can understand what I'm talking about here when you get that little brownish.
Ooh, the best, yeah.
So every dish, that's when you know the flavor is there and you have cooked it enough to bring out the best in the food. Like when you're roasting, when you're frying. So this is like when you're using those dry cooking methods, that's what you want to see. And that's when you know the food it's good to eat, because some people just throw them in and they throw them in a pan, and then sometimes like the heat is not there yet. So what I feel that most people miss when they're cooking is they don't wait for the pan to heat up enough.
I'm definitely guilty of that
kind of stuff. And then the cook it starts releasing a lot of water.
Okay.
And then it starts kind of boiling the food and cooking it.
So if you have the pan really hot before you put the food in, that's going to get that coloring and that lack of.
To get the right temperature.
You won't get that water pull out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of which, it is pretty hot in there, by the way, too. I'm not too sure if you.
No, it's like before and it was
probably 600 degrees. So I just wanted to. Is it good? Okay.
You're nice and good in there.
Speaking of color. But that's interesting because what I'm always doing myself, and I didn't realize that this is affecting the flavor, is allowing the food to heat up while the pan's heating up. So now I'm going to change that. So I'll heat the pan up, let that
always
go.
wait for the pan to heat first.
And what do you usually put in your pan to heat it up? Are you putting any cooking oil in there? Are you putting butter in there? Are you putting are you just letting it go kind of dry and putting heat
So
on
when
it?
I'm just heating it up, I literally just dry.
Okay.
Obviously, you don't want to overheat it depending on which type of oil you're using, or if
Okay.
you're using any oil. So if you're using butter, just regular butter, it has some milk contents in it, so you don't want it too hot.
Gotcha.
Because otherwise you're going to burn that milk that's still present in the butter.
Okay.
So it all depends what you're cooking. And like one trick that you can use when you're using butter, if you add a little bit of olive oil or just like any vegetable oil to it, it helps not burning that milk in it. Or we can use the ghee butter.
Okay, dude.
Which is the butter with no milk in it.
We should seriously have a ghee named after you. That should be Gui's ghee.
And you can do it. That's what I tell people. Like some people, like when I say, "What's her name?" Gui. They say it's like ghee. No, ghee, like the butter.
Oh, we should have Gui's ghee, and the logo is you in a gi, like a jujitsu gi. It should be like G cube, dude. That little back in the knuckle thing, kind of a little test of the heat. Obviously, you don't want to put it too long, but you should be able to. I actually want to try that out now. Okay. Yeah.
You can feel a bit of the heat.
You want me to hit that with that leaf blower?
No.
Get some of the heat going?
No.
Okay. And about how much butter are you usually using? Is it kind of by feel? You kind of want to lather the sides up?
I just want to coat the bottom. Depends on what you're cooking.
Okay.
But now here I'm just gonna saute that beef, that meat, that ground beef. So I just want, because the beef is gonna release a lot of fat as well. So
that's gonna be some cooking oil itself. Okay.
So I just want to kind of coat the bottom of it so it doesn't stick right away when I put the meat in there.
Nice.
And one thing that's good as well, like that people, when they're cooking, especially meat, they take the meat straight out of the fridge and then they put it to cook. So when you get a hot pan and then you put a cold piece of meat in there, you're gonna cool down the cooking surface.
I'm guilty of that as well.
So it's good. It's a good thing. Yeah, it's all the.
This is really good tips right here.
Simple things that people don't realize, because if you don't want to get all the water content, because you want a hot surface, especially depending, like if your pan is thin, you don't have like that heavy base pan.
Gotcha.
Then you want the meat to be at room temperature. So you just take it out a few hours earlier. Nothing's gonna, like, people are afraid, if I take the meat out of the fridge too soon, it's gonna spoil it. Don't worry about it. You have 4 hours to cook that. And
like with that too, it came frozen. I put it in water for about an hour, and then we've let it sit for about another hour.
Especially ground beef is pretty quick to defrost, so you can just leave that out and put it in the water. Like, especially if you're cooking at home, like you have a lot of these rules going on a restaurant, but at home, you know you're gonna be safe.
And beef quality is something I really find interesting as well. There's a bunch of labels I find that get really, I wouldn't say confusing, but it does become like a label game where you're going to the store and every package has 1,000 different things it's trying to tell you, all natural, no antibiotics, free range, grass-fed, grass-finished. I personally default to grass-fed, albeit there are tricks that a lot of ranchers and commercial farms have been doing to be able to label their beef as grass-fed, such as feeding them grain up until the last 3 days or 24 hours of their life, where they just pump them with grass, and that's officially grass-fed.
Is it?
Yeah.
I always knew that as grass-finished.
Yeah, grass-fed, grass-finished are kind of like, grass-fed, they'll be eating grass their whole life, and then they'll be finished on corn, my bad. They'll be fattened up on corn. So it's grass-fed, up until the point where they want to sell it, and then they beef them up on corn. Grass-fed, grass-finished is like that sweet spot where you know that they've been grazing on
they
grass.
Have all these gray spots. They just try and market stuff. Something they're not.
Eggs are the same thing. You got cage-free, which in some states legitimately means that the cage that the bird is in is actually allowing them to open their wingspans and move around and not touch the edge of the cage. So it's a little bit deceptive.
Still cage free.
Still cage free. Or even pasture sometimes means they have access to pasture, not necessarily that they're on pasture. So it's like these things that can get kind of confusing. That's why
I didn't know that.
That's why I
learned to farm, you learned to cook.
Oh, I love knowing the farmer of meats, of produce, of poultry, of beef, of fish. Like that way you can ask them, okay, hey, are these chickens actually raised out in the field? And, you know, in Michelle's case from Black Mountain Farm, yes, I've been there. I see their chickens. Is the actual beef grass-fed, grass-finished? Yes. Sage Mountain, same thing. You can ask these questions of farmers that you can't necessarily ask these of big commercial feedlots.
Yep.
So just another thing to consider.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to know. It's the same as like small restaurants. So you have access to the people who are actually developing the recipes and the cooking. So you can ask those questions also.
Totally.
And understand how they're cooking their food. And yeah, that's good to know about these things about the farming as well. I had no idea about this.
It's really fascinating. I mean, like you can get away with a lot of, because labels are a way for us to build trust with something that we have no relationship with. Mm-hmm. That's why the organic certification is so important in ways, because when you go to a grocery store, you can't ask the farmer. So you outsource your questions to this little green label that says USDA organic, assuming that means that the farm behind that bit of produce is acting with integrity. Now,
not always.
The curious thing and the contentious thing is that USDA certification is getting a bit distorted, and a lot of interests are coming in and they're easing the standard and growing the boundary line at what's considered organic to where it's almost losing its value. And new certifications are being introduced, such as the Real Organic Project, which is like an add-on organic label on top of the organic food label. And they're doing great work. You got people who are small farmers like myself that can't afford the certification process itself, which is like $20,000, I've heard, over time. So when people ask me, I tell them that we utilize organic farming practices. We aren't certified organic, but our label is the transparency of bringing people back here and showing them our farm, them asking me questions. Do you use any chemical pesticides, herbicides? No. What sort of fertilizers are you using? We're using these bone meals, alfalfa meals. I'll show them the packet. You know, it's kind of these opportunities that we have with farmers who are, you know, in front of us that you don't quite get in the store.
Yeah, it's funny how everything starts with a good intention. Like all these labels, they started in a certain way, but then you see like why did they go astray at some point? You know, like I remember watching a series. I don't know if it was a series or a movie about tuna, I think.
Oh shit! Yeah, fish industry's
industry. Yeah, like,
I don't know as much, but I do know it's kind of a dark industry.
Yeah, like it's so funny how the label starts as something to kind of tell people that no, this is good, but then at some point money starts getting in the way and people start buying their way into those labels. Yeah, and then it's like it all gets corrupted.
Yes. Yeah, I recommend people go listen to the Real Organic Project's podcast, because they have a new podcast that comes out every week. And Dave Hansen, the director of the Real Organic Project, is fascinating. He goes to every part of the food system to kind of find the good actors and the bad actors in that space, and to call out some of the bad action that's occurring. And it's usually from big farms that have a vested interest in scale, and you know have a large market share. There's plenty of examples, and we probably will get into them the more we delve into different produce items. But again, it just like re-emphasizes the value of knowing your farmer, the value of going to local farmers markets, to farm stands, to grocery stores that value good organic food. Here in San Diego, I love Jimbo's. I think Jimbo's does a fantastic job with sourcing food from real farms with real integrity behind their growing practices, as well as, you know, packaged foods that have the same amount of integrity. So, you know, I always like saying food is an investment. It's not an expense. I think we treat it like an expense because, you know, it's something that's become commodified. We try to find the most amount for the least price, or the lowest price. Yeah, and we forget that your food is your medicine. So if you invest in your food, you likely won't have to invest in much in over-the-counter drugs.
Yeah, that's something that we always advocate for. Also, like when like if you exercise, if you eat healthy, it all comes down to that. Like, oh, I'm gonna spend more money or more time to do this certain way, this more natural way.
Yeah.
But you're spending a lot less on other stuff, like so
Totally.
you have more energy to work, and you have better ideas and all that comes with all this not organic living, but like not organic food, but organic living. Like,
Yeah.
you're getting back to how things were done in the past, and I think like part of that corruption side, it all comes from people searching too much convenience.
Yeah.
Because like getting to know your farmer and going to a farmer's market takes a bit more time, takes a bit more effort. So people
Costs a little bit more money.
Costs a bit more money, yeah,
At least for now.
Yeah.
You know.
So they just want to rely on those labels, and they don't go after to understanding what's behind that.
Yeah.
You know, so they see the label. Oh, I'm buying organic, so I'm going to Whole Foods market. You know, like so,
yeah, it should be fine.
Which is like a huge chain,
Totally.
just another chain moved by a lot of money. You know, they're just profiting on the organic labels and not on true organic.
Yeah, and it is something to be said. I mean, they have organic Oreos now. You know, they have organic Twinkies. So like the organic label doesn't make it healthy.
Yeah,
It just means that it's a better alternative to the processed food that is not organic. I mean, an Oreo is still an Oreo.
it's still highly
It's still highly
processed.
processed. Yeah,
It's
it just doesn't have
made
chemicals.
of, like the food that started is organic.
Yes.
Like that's the only difference.
Exactly.
But the process is still the same.
So if you like shop at a Whole Foods, it doesn't necessarily mean the food you're buying there is healthy. It's like you really want to get Whole Foods at Whole Foods, which is what the name's all about. And yeah, treating those whole foods. I mean, it takes a little bit more effort. Like we're showcasing here, you got to cook it. You got to put a little bit more time and effort into planning it out. But the taste is undeniable, and the feeling you get is undeniable after you do prepare a meal with such intention and quality behind it. And it really is. I mean, it is a ritual to be enjoyed. Cooking at the end of the day, cooking ideally for folks that you love and want to connect with. And, you know, in the process, building a cool skill set that is going to stay with you for a long time. You said you learned a lot from watching your dad, right? Yeah. And that just follows you. It's followed you obviously here. This is really cool to see.
Yeah, and you just like, it's all about just taking the time to do it. Just I get that people are like just trapped in that rat race. So like, no, if I don't have the time because I have to make the money, and then once they start trying small amounts. They just cook one meal a week at home and see how it feels.
Fry an egg.
See how much joy they're gonna bring in, and how the overall process is gonna make your life better, and then you have more energy to go chase what you really love, and not just be chasing the money and the bill, paying the bills and all that sort of stuff. Like, and like we say that from experience because we were in the same trap like at some point. So we had to make the choice, but it wasn't like overnight.
Yeah, it takes time.
Like we started with a small change in our daily life. Like for example, we started cooking the breakfast at home. You know, and then we still had the other meals kind of pre-made. To the whole media thing, like, where people think they have to do a switch over all at once into
It's overwhelming.
eating organic and all, then they just feel overwhelmed. Like, how am I going to do this? Like, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, and like, just do a small change, like a tiny change, like again, like a tiny, you know?
Exactly.
Go back to something tiny, do a tiny change, and see how you feel, and then start from there, and just grow from there. Just like everything in life, like I feel like a lot of people avoid exercising, avoid eating healthier because they think they have to go all in at the same time, you know, like, and you just do a small change, do a tiny change, and then see how you feel, and then the next week you add something else, and then just like feel. It's like the anti-David Goggins approach, where you know you get all these like, you know, there's good messaging being had, but it's like the intensity of running 40 miles a day. It's like you don't need to do that. Yeah,
like, just go cook a whole meal today and just see how it feels, and then if it speaks to you, do it again tomorrow, and then if you can continue to kind of keep on that trend, then all of a sudden you realize in a month and a half you're like, oh wow, I cooked all my meals this week.
because I feel like on social media people they when they start posting on social media, they're already doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
But not everyone talks about their journey and how they started. They just want to show how they are right now. So it scares people away on their fitness journeys, on their eating journeys, and all that. And they just like parenting. So if you see like everyone doing this so perfect, though, the social media life is so perfect, so everybody gets scared. Like, oh, I can't be like that.
Yeah, totally. So we try to like
that's not real, you know.
At the farm, we try to give the good and the bad, you know, like put it all out there. It's like, here's the hard parts of farming. Here's the really fun parts. Here's the things I have no idea what I'm doing. Here's the things I have some idea. Beef smells so good.
Yeah. Now again, that nice caramelized bottom. Just gonna season it with a bit of salt. I'm gonna put this aside while we grill the veggies.
So now it's like your timeline. You have the oven, you have the tomatoes in the oven, you have the beef going, you have the beets roasted. You're feeling pretty good as far as like how everything's coming together?
Yeah, so now I'm just gonna take this out, I'm gonna grill some veggies, and now you're gonna start seeing the stuff coming together. The quickest part is now just the veggies, and then we're gonna start eating soon.
So it's kind of like roasting takes the longest, sauteing meat kind of takes second, and then like just a quick saute of veggies is kind of how you want to order some of these
so
things?
now we get into the quick stuff, which is the veggies, which is just like whipping it all together and combining those flavors. Now I'm gonna leave this nice caramelized bottom here. I'm just gonna throw some of those peppers. Saute for a bit. I'm just gonna add a dash of vinegar, which is gonna help release that caramelize from the bottom.
Okay. Very cool. I've always had an issue with the caramelize being stuck. So a little vinegar will actually unstick
a bit of vinegar, some wine.
Wow, all right.
Yeah. Hey. You get that, you can deglaze that bottom.
That's fascinating.
You get that cooking. To add flavor, you get all that flavor that's stuck to the bottom of the pot, the pan. And just incorporate that.
Makes it easier to clean too.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes I use the Dutch oven, and you get that really hard. See, it looks like it's never gonna come out. It's impressive. Like if you heat it up a bit on the stove, and then you just put a dash of vinegar, it comes out like new.
It's wild.
It's
wild.
Funny, like that. And try scrubbing it a lot, unless you use an abrasive, but then you're gonna hurt the pot like that. Yeah. So you don't want that. You want something that's gentle on your crockery, because
I didn't think about that for the actual Dutch oven. Yeah. Because you don't want to scratch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
So best thing is just a bit of vinegar.
Well, I'm glad I don't own a Dutch oven, because I totally would have scratched the heck out of it to this point.
So I'm just gonna saute this and the cabbage here, and then once you get that out, then we're gonna start with the stuff for the frittata. And carrots, which take the carrots take the longest. Then the zucchini, and we'll go there.
What's your thought around oil? When do you use oil relative to butter, relative to tallow, relative to, like, what kind of goes through your mind when you're deciding what to apply as a cooking medium, I guess?
No, I never thought much about that, but like I like butter on breads, or if I'm gonna grill some potato, like kind of like the finishing stuff. And if I'm cooking meat, like if I had tallow, I would use tallow.
Okay.
But the closest to that is butter, so that's why I kind of chose butter for the beef. But you really can use any sort of oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never put some thought of that, so maybe that's something interesting to bring to the next
it's
episode.
It's probably what's available too. You know, sometimes when I'm out of butter, I'll default to the oil, but I really don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. So I do like cooking in butter more so, just because I feel like the
It adds
heat
flavor.
temperature too is a little bit higher. Like you said though, you can burn the milk.
Yep.
So there's definitely some ideas that I'm going to take from this for sure. That looks like a really good mix. This is the cabbage and the green pepper.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna throw in the beef here, and then we have our filling for the tacos ready.
I like that. So you cook the beef, but then you're going to reheat it at the end with everything.
Yeah,
Cool.
because
Okay.
I want to.
Keep it
I
hot.
want to. I want to take all that nice caramelized from the bottom. Just take it out while I grill this, because this is gonna release a bit of water.
Gotcha.
And then it helps getting that caramelized off the bottom. So you just add the meat back at the end. So you just got nice and wet here. So you just
Wow, yeah,
all
that's
that
totally,
bottom.
that's totally clean.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then you just put that beef back in here.
Let's go. Wood-fired, sauteed.
You can leave it in.
Is there? Okay.
I'm just gonna take this off. Just gonna mix it all together. And these are ready for our tacos.
Let's go. In Brazil, have you use some meats and stuff like that? Like you guys find yourself a lot of dishes kind of around, the meats, the beefs and stuff, or what's the?
Yeah, Brazil is very diverse. So I feel like it's sort of like here in America, that each region has its own identity, like his own cooking identity. We have all these different. Like I'm from the south, for example. We do a lot of meat, a lot of roasting, a lot of open fire like this. This is pretty much my culture. But then as you go north, you get a lot of seafood, and like northeast actually. And then north you get more fishes from the river, and it's like each region has its own ingredients because it's such a big country.
Yeah.
So you have all different climates and stuff that grows in each region. So you have different fruits, you have different veggies, you have different animals that grow, and you have all that different mix. And I always love traveling to find out all those flavors and stuff. And I like the way my dad cooks, because he always I don't know, I never stopped to think actually to ask him where did he learn to cook all those stuff. But he used to cook all different stuff, different meals from different regions that most of my friends didn't know about.
Oh, so interesting.
Yeah, so I like that variety. I like cooking all these different styles, and that's why I like traveling so much. I'm just gonna prep the ingredients for our frittata here. We started the carrots.
Well, remind me, is this the pear right here?
No, this is just the core of the zucchini.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. It just separate because that cooks a bit faster.
Gotcha. And those tomatoes are for the frittata?
Yeah, so here I just roasted the tomatoes. I'm gonna use some in the tacos. So literally just roast tomatoes with a bit of oil and salt. You can add some herbs to it.
What did you say we had it in for? We had it in for at about what temperature for about how long? And I know it's a pizza oven, so it's a little bit
Yeah, so
different.
it's about like 380, 400 degrees
God.
for an hour and some. I didn't keep track of the time.
Yeah.
But you just want to see that they're like kind of mushy like
Okay.
this. You can just squeeze them, and then you get a nice.
So anywhere between
sauce.
like 30 minutes to, like you said, like 45, 50.
Yeah, so it all. And it depends how ripe the tomatoes are.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that's like cooking. It's simple when you're paying attention to it. So you don't need a recipe, because a lot of people, they want a recipe.
Yeah.
They want the time. They want the quantities. You can see here we're not following anything in terms of quantities and times and anything. It's just about like looking at the food and knowing what you want out of food. So here we want the tomatoes to be. We want to make like a sort of sauce out of it.
Yeah.
So all I'm looking at is a puree consistency.
Looks so good.
So you're cooking for long enough, so it's you can just mush them together.
Yeah. I can smell it from here. That's the crazy thing, the
And-
aroma that it brings.
Yeah. You know what we can do? You can just cook some pasta and throw it in here, and throw some fresh basil, and you have a meal. Just getting the right consistency,
should do that
knowing
too.
what you're after.
Yeah. It's like the last year tomato harvest right here. I mean, we have like, we just harvested today. I was blown away. We probably had 50 pounds of tomatoes that came off of our last trellis area. We took it down today, and I was like rather surprised by that. It was pretty exciting.
I'm just gonna add a bit of this to the eggs.
Oh, cool. Okay, so in the eggs they go.
Yeah,
very rad.
And a bit to our taco. And the tomatoes cook like this, they have a lot of umami and that acidity and sweetness that brings out the flavors and the other ingredients.
This brings me back to my childhood. This is how my mom used to kind of prepare corn for us. My dad, though, he's from Iowa, so he would eat corn in such a disgusting manner. it would bring you to like not be hungry anymore. He would just devour it. Iowans and corn,
like straight from the cob.
Dude, it's like you're having to dodge kernels and you're sitting like right next to him on the table. It's like a lawnmower spitting out grass.
I can see your dad doing that.
It's like you just gotta kind of just turn away for a second. And he'll be done in like 30 seconds. That's the most amazing thing about it. But Iowans take their corn eating seriously.
It's like one of those machines where you put the corn in and just some corn in one side and
if Dad didn't want to eat it, he could be a very good like
on the other side.
Yeah, he could be a human processor in that sense.
Beets and
when you're sort of quarter chop too, you're just like a length width and then like a side.
Yeah, so just like
knife skills. I feel like knife skills people get a little bit overwhelmed by, but it's really you're kind of seeing Gui chop fast, but he's been doing this for so long. But just take it slow. But like it's just dicing them, quartering them. You know, I saw how you cook you cut the cabbage. It was kind of these long strips or ribbons.
So you get all the leaves together, you roll them, and it just like kind of like
it comes out super well.
And it's just easy. I feel like most people they're just afraid of doing it. Mm-hmm. But once you understand it, it's
intuitive.
Easy.
Yeah, it's kind of intuitive.
Because a lot of fear was put into people, like, oh, you have to be careful, so you're gonna cut yourself. Like when I started, I didn't even think of that. It's like I started like sharpening a knife on I don't even know how you call this in English. I don't remember.
Knife sharpener, I guess.
When I was like 12, 13.
Like, yeah.
It's like
I saw you sharpening your knife. It looked
just
cool.
watching my dad and my uncles doing that, and it's like I never thought that was gonna hurt myself. Because if I had thought that at first, I probably wouldn't have started doing it. I wouldn't try. It's all about like getting that fear to not control you.
Mm-hmm. And giving it a shot too, like trying it out. Speaking of, I'm gonna try this pear for a second. You want some pear?
I just added the zucchinis and the peppers. Just want to get them nice and salted before we add the eggs with the tomatoes that we just beat up the corn. Gonna put them in the skillet and chuck them in the oven.
And then we get a chance to enjoy those tacos while they're cooking.
Yes, and then we just while that is in the oven, we put the tortillas here, and then we start devouring.
Heck yeah.
I've done this here. I could have done it all in the skillet, but we were using the skillet for the other dish. So you just got the eggs with a bit of those tomatoes, seasoned with salt, and some of that corn.
I love that roasted corn idea. It's such a cool idea.
And it's so simple. It's like
and it has such a flavor though, a roasted kind of component to it. Those guys got some roasted tomatoes. Let's go.
You can add some cheese to this as well if you want. So.
How many eggs do you need to put in there? Like 5?
6 eggs.
6, perfect. Okay.
So we're 3 people here. So about 2 eggs per person.
That's a good call. Good quality.
This in our oven. We're getting ready to roll in here now, so we're just gonna mix up our salad. Just gonna break this a little bit. Add the corn and the beets. Mix them all up. Add some vinegar.
What's the vinegar do? Is it kind of loosen or not loosen? It kind of acts as like a dressing.
Yeah, just a dressing. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna mix vinegar, olive oil, salt, and I'm gonna toss that pomegranate.
Sweet. See, I've never seen a dressing be applied in its bare ingredient form, just straight on the salad.
Yeah,
That's super
it's
cool.
simple. Like what we're after is simple cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one other thing. Like that people think, oh, you're gonna have to make the dressing separate, and it's like, you just can toss it up. Because at the end of the day, it's all gonna be mixed together, isn't it?
I love that.
Unless you're doing a vinaigrette or something specific that it needs a certain technique. But again, we want simple, right?
Yeah. We'll get the vinaigrette until the 4th episode.
Gonna add a bit of this pomegranate with the juice, which also adds a bit of acidic and some nice fruity flavor to it. Toss it all together. If you want to cook some boiled eggs, actually I was thinking about doing that and I forgot about it.
Sounds all good.
But
obviously I'm diving into some of the ingredients myself.
let's get our salad ready. And we'll start cooking those tortillas.
Looks so good.
Smells good, looks good. Just gonna have to see if it tastes good, right?
I actually did just try a bit of the meat and it was freaking delicious. So I can attest. I know it's going to be good. The best street taco look ever. Can you imagine like coming out of like a sports game? You know how they serve all those hot dogs and stuff? This? Oh, I'd be all over this. Just take my money. Here's my credit card. Just put the tacos on the plate and put the money in your bank. Now, do you recommend like, you know, from a Brazilian tradition, do you recommend like a salsa to pair with this, or just good straight as, I guess?
I like straight ass. Like I like cooking like food with nice juice, meat, and
I mean, you really don't need it. I just tried it, and it is so juicy.
But you can sauce-wise, I feel like you go with whatever you like.
Yeah.
Some red chili sauce, like whatever makes up your mind. I would say.
Cheers. Cheers to the first dish. Amazing.
First tiny dish. The tiny farm.
The tiny one. The way it should be enjoyed.
Oh yeah. Look at this.
It's great.
That was great. We cooked some good food. And show that cooking is not that scary. It was a great experience. I think people will slowly understand that this is not a rocket science. Everybody can do it at home. We did it here in this setting, which was hard, and just had a very good time chatting and just getting to know a bit more about farming on my side. And I think you learn a bit about cooking. So,
love it. Yeah. And we hope to do these. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more of these too. We're going to be bringing you recipes and kind of tutorials on how to work with the ingredients that you find in your CSA box or at our farm stand or just at your local farmer's market or grocery store. And yeah, we kind of hope you bring these skills and these ideas to your own kitchen and you share it with friends and family, because the best thing about cooking is enjoying it with loved ones. It is even sometimes more nourishing, it feels, than the food itself. So yeah, take some of these ideas that Gui shared with us today, bring them into your kitchen, follow us up on a CSA box, and stay tuned for a lot more of these videos coming your way. We're really excited to partner up here and bring you guys these tutorials going forward. So appreciate you. Remember, food is medicine.
That's it.
Like that.
You are what you eat, so if you eat good, you're gonna be good.
Exactly.